Hello, hello, hello. I am so glad you're here. This is Julie JordanScott. I have a question for you. Are you ready to let go of the blahs and the blocks that have been holding you back? I know that a lot of people I'm talking to are saying, I am getting so stuck and I'm so tired of it. Well, today we are going to have a mini workshop that will help you get through it. That's right, our 5 for 5 brain dump, which is simply 5 minutes of writing from a curated prompt for 5 minutes, 5 consecutive days will make a huge difference in your life. So thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful that you're here. As you come in the room, because we're talking about everyday passion. So as you come in the room, whether you're live or on the replay, if you would please put in the comment box something that you are passionate about, some everyday thing. Doesn't have to be extraordinary. Something that makes you feel really good. It will go with our prompt today. So for me, it's something like when I go outside and I walk past my rosemary that's in the front of my house. The smell, when I get close and I put my hand in it, for example, the smell can take me to another place immediately. Or what's another example? Oh, when I come in after a walk outside, I'm not out there in this heat, as I'll tell you about in a minute. When I take a drink, that moment that my thirst is quenched is extraordinary. So these are some everyday passionate moments. I would love for you to put your everyday passionate moments in the comment box so that I can see them and so that I can greet you. And when you're on the replay, if you do this, if you make this comment about your everyday passion, I'll write back to you. We'll keep a conversation going, whether you're live or on the replay, because that's how it's so fun with these live streams, because it's the closest thing you can have to live, even if you are not live. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to tell you a little story, and then I'm going to give you a writing prompt. And then we are going to write for 5 minutes. And then we'll feel better. No matter what happens, we'll feel better. We always end our writing of 5 minutes. And the writing, by the way, is stream of consciousness. So what I mean by that is you don't think about what you're writing. You just let your pencil float across the page. Don't think about what's coming next. Just let it go. Just keep writing. So, okay, here we go. There's a comment from someone. Mary Lou, she says she likes to be out at the farm, helping people, her dog, her family. Absolutely. That is indeed an everyday passion. Thanks for joining in there, Mary Lou. I appreciate you commenting. So, let me add this. So, thank you for adding in those everyday passions, because that really helps. It helps because Facebook likes to know that people are interested in what we're talking about over here. So you're going to let yourself float across a page, no thinking, no forethought. And if you get caught at all, what I would ask for you to do is to just write the word passion, 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 because what happens is words will come to the forefront that you didn't even know were there because your pencil go passion, passion, and it will deliver it, just like in the story I'm about to tell what happened with me when I was walking today. So here we have words from Wilder talking about, whoops, you don't have a pen? You don't have to use a pen. You can use a pencil. You can use your fingers on the keyboard. Passionate about producing music and then inspires others to explore their inner space and grow. That is totally cool. I can totally vibe on that, Passion Wilder. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know that. I appreciate it. By the way, when people say cool stuff like that, you know, if you're in the Word Love Writing community, you can connect. Isn't that cool? So you might go, I want to hear more about that. You can talk to Wilder about it. So here's what happened with me today in the exploration of blahs and blocks to everyday passion. So I was pretty perturbed. I was pretty perturbed because it is 108 degrees here in Bakersfield, and I'm trying to stay healthy. Some of you know, back in October, I almost died. And so ever since then, I've been trying to stay healthy, healthier than before, and incorporating healthy habits into my lifestyle. And so I like to go out walking in the morning. Well, this morning, by 10 o'clock, it was already too hot for me to go out walking. So I had to do the second best thing, which is walk around my house, literally stroll around the house, just go hither and yon around my house in circles. And I don't like to do this because I realized today that just walking like that around my house, it agitates me because it triggers me from when I walked around the house like that. I used to do it when I was really agitated. And so I didn't want to do this anymore. But as I was walking, And your mind is just kind of flowing, just going and flowing and going and flowing and going. And I saw my project desk there, and I thought, I want to make art. I want to make art. I don't want to be walking. I want to make art. And I said to myself, just keep walking and then you can make art. Keep walking and then you can make art. And that is exactly what I did. I walked and I walked and I walked and I walked. And on the third walking trek around the house, I sat down and I made a tiny little work of art. You can see this on my blog post. I've linked to it in the comments. But I made this tiny little simple piece of art. But as I was making it, my focus was totally on it, totally on the creative process. Everything else flew away, the blahs and the blocks and all of that. And all of a sudden, I felt so much better. Now, Mary Oliver, who some of you might know, she had an amazing quote that reminds me of this and that I was planning for a long time to use in this session. So it's so fun how this works. Mary Oliver said, "Let the world have its way with you, as luminous as it is, with mystery and pain, graced as it is with the ordinary." So instead of getting stuck with that grouchy stuff I was in, I allowed myself to go into another pretty ordinary thing, making a very small work of art. But it was that energy of ordinary passion that I brought to it that shifted everything. Just like walking past my rosemary, just like having a cold glass of water, just like writing poetry sometimes, or my daily haiku. Sometimes I say, I don't know where I would be mentally and emotionally if I didn't write haiku every single day. It's literally changed everything. I think people probably get tired of hearing me say that, but it is so, so, so very true. So passion does not have to be a mountaintop experience. Passion does not have to be something huge or something big or something extravagant or extraordinary. It can be something seemingly minor, but that is really so much more. So here is your prompt. My recent moment of everyday passion was when ... which made me feel so happy. Now, you can use another word. It could be fulfilled. It could be satisfied. You could say passionate. You could say any word that fits for you. I just picked happy because that's an easy-ish one. So my recent moment of everyday passion was when blank. What made me feel so happy was, and just write and write and write and write. If you run out of steam, go back to just that specific moment and kind of download it if you can. Get your senses moving, get your, like, I'm really big in the sense of smell, what it looked like, who was there, what the air felt like against your skin, how your heart was beating, how the whole thing. Just write for 5 minutes. So we're going to breathe into our heart spaces. We're going to let it go. Right, we're going to breathe in everyday passion. So breathe in, everyday passion. And then exhale. And I like to imagine the everyday passion getting bigger and bigger as we exhale. So breathe it in, everyday passion, and then let it go and let it expand and multiply. I'm going to say the prompt one more time. I'm going to let you then begin to write. And we'll write and write and write until I ask you to move into a space of gratitude. So here we go. Beautiful breath. My recent moment of everyday passion was when... what made me feel so happy was... my recent moment of everyday passion was when... and what made me feel so happy was... If happy doesn't resonate, remember, choose some other word that fits for you better. I'll say it one more time. My recent moment of everyday passion was when... and what made me feel so happy was... Please begin to write if you haven't yet, and continue writing until you hear my prompting. The writing prompt is right on the screen there, if you can see it. It's about a recent moment of what I call ordinary passion. If you can't think of one, just write the word passion on your page repeatedly. Passion, 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 passion. And if you ever get stuck in your writing, just write the word passion. But everyday passion. For me this morning, it was creating a tiny work of art. And I felt very passionate, very filled with love. And my blahs and my blocks just went right out the window. So we have about a minute and a half until we move into a space of gratitude. So if you're watching and you just want to experience the vibe, that's fine too. We're glad you're here. Right, begin to complete that sentence you're writing. Just wrap it up. And then we're going to move over to our prompt about gratitude. We always end our time with what we are grateful for. I am so grateful for. I am so grateful for. And if you're just coming in, hop on the gratitude train, comment what you're grateful for, and then you can come back and watch the replay and get the rest of the passion prompt. I am so grateful for. I am so grateful for. I always like to comment too here. Oh, cool. Let's see, we are passionate about water, art, cooking, and empowering women. Those are cool things. We have things in common there, Deanna. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Let's hear now what we are grateful for. I am so grateful. I'm putting what helped me this morning to get from that place of law and upsetness and moved me into passion again was just settling in with inchy art. That sounds kind of strange, but just very small art got me through. So I'm so grateful for inchy art. I am so grateful for every person that's here. And it's funny because it's like every person who is here, past, present, and future. So people who are here who've left the room, people who've ever been to a 5-for-5 brain dump, people who are going to come into this replay later and participate. I'm so grateful for each person because each person who participates, you have a chance to free your voice, to free your words, and to become clear of all of that block and icky stuff. So I also have a challenge for you. If you're finishing up your writing, that's totally fine. Finish up that writing. And I'm going to share with you the challenge for today. This is so that you can take what we're doing here into the rest of your life, because writing for 5 minutes a day, hanging out on a mini writing workshop is great. But where the really good stuff happens is away from the keyboard, away from your pencil or pen. So be aware of opportunities to explore your everyday passion. So like Deanna was talking about those different things she's passionate about. Wilder and Mary Lou expressed things that they were passionate about. I express things I'm passionate about. Those will help you to shift out of those blahs, even the relentlessness of the pandemic, the relentlessness of the unrest that's happening, a lot of the people who are not getting along at all of it is easier when we can choose to step into passion, everyday passion, that luminousness of everyday life, rather than other stuff. So that is your challenge, is that when you feel, and maybe you don't, maybe I'm not the only grouchy, grumpy person walking around these days. I would be okay with that, actually. But feel for that good stuff. Feel for that good stuff. And then it makes it easier to step into that good stuff later. So, oh, look, here's Tamiko. Tamiko is grateful for a working shower. Yes, I'm making pizza. Connecting with like-minded people. And Deanna, I'm with you too. I'm also grateful for air conditioning. The moment I step outside, I'm like, oh, what on earth? And today's my daughter's birthday, so we're having we have to go out later. We don't have to. We're going to go out later and get birthday cake, and we're going to get. We're not going out to eat because of the pandemic, but I am going to. We're going to pick up food to go because that's kind of this place we always go to. So we're going to pick it up and bring it back home. It's going to be different, but it'll be good, right? So I am glad that you are all here. You are making my life better just by showing up. Thank you so much. I'm Julie JordanScott, the Creative Life Midwife. We'll be back here tomorrow at 4. I'll be back here. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All 3 days we'll be here this week because I was sick on Monday. So if you're not a part of the Word Love Writing community and you'd like to hang out with people who like to discuss this kind of stuff, feel free to come over there and join us. They're our sister group here into Writing Camp. There's also, like I said earlier, if you weren't here in the beginning, there's a whole library of these sessions underneath the video tab. So feel free to come back at any time. If you feel blocked, we have a solution. Tons and tons of videos for you to watch that will pull you out of those doldrums and get your writing on the page again. So thank you so much, everybody, for, oh, thank you, Tamiko. And Mary Lou, I appreciate you saying that I'm not the only grouchy, grumpy person walking around. You're great. Mary Lou, you're too funny. No, but I can't imagine anybody punching you. Although I won't say what I felt like doing, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you showing up. So thank you all. Thank you all for spending some time with me today, whether you're live or the replay. Come on back. If you have friends who would like to show up here, who you think might enjoy writing like this, I would love to have them come by because this really is a fun place. And what I hear from people is they really gain a lot from these prompts. And by putting these prompts into action and by taking the challenge into their lives so they can continue to experience it. Because this is, yes, about getting your words on the page. And yes, it's also about taking action and using this when I'm not around and we're not around to talk to you about it. So thanks so much for being here, everyone. And I look so forward to seeing you. I look forward to seeing you on the next 5 for 5 brain dump, where we are ending those blahs and blocks and getting into a space of word, love, freedom. So thank you for being here, and we will see you tomorrow or on another live stream soon. Bye, everybody.